Okay. Hello. Welcome you all to OPC Trinity once again. So, this is your first lecture of environment series, and from today's onwards, we will be discussing the environment from the prelims and mains perspective of the questions asked in prelims and mains perspective of OPSC and UPSC, both OPSC and UPSC examinations. So, in the recent videos, I already have discussed about national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, biosphere reserves and tiger reserves. And from today's onwards, we will serially discuss about the environment syllabus and the content of environment which has been provided by the UPSC syllabus itself. Okay. So, what will be the objective of this series? Okay, let's see. So, primarily there are two objectives of this series. The first objective is to create the content from the static to advanced level. Okay, we will be discussing the static portion of the environment series as well as the advanced questions which are being asked in the recent UPSC and OPSC examinations. This will be the first objective. And what will be the second objective? The second objective will be to score maximum, or we can say to almost score 100% in the environment questions itself which are being asked in UPSC and OPSC examinations. Okay. So, what are the questions? If there are any dominance of the questions in of environment in OPSC examinations, definitely there are some. See, if we scrutinize the recent past question papers, in 2021, 20 questions are being asked from the environment, both from environment and geography paper. In 2022, around 16 questions were asked, and in recent examination 2023, directly 24 questions are being asked from basic parts of environment. Okay. So, environment plays a significant role in acquiring a good score in prelims examination. So, if we are getting a good score by dedicating a small amount of time, we are being able to get this much of score by dedicating the small amount of time. So, we should definitely focus on these things. Okay. So, what will be our study plan? Okay, let's see. The study plan will be like this. Okay, I'll keep the video lectures both in bilingual basis, both in Odia and English. So, I hope kahaku kichi asubidha habani. So, what will be the study plan? Study plan is like the whole syllabus is divided into three categories. One is ecology and ecosystem, the second is biodiversity, and third is climate change. Both biodiversity and climate change are the topics, are both of those topics, they are being important from both prelims and mains perspective. But the first topic, ecology and ecosystem, is highly important for prelims. In this topic, we will further discuss the levels of ecology, types of ecosystem and nutrient cycle. Okay, in the upcoming sessions, we will be discussing about these things. Okay. Okay. So, before starting the class or lecture, what you all need? So, basically you all be needing this PW Udan 2025 ro given note जोटा कि prelims पाई तांकर बनाती. It is very good and I hope समस्ते एटा easily पाइजे. And what else? जा पाखर iPad अच्छे iPad, otherwise pen and paper. Okay. So, why I consider Udan note? First कथा, only IAS is doing some good job. They are doing the research. Okay. Their paper, this note is highly researched, and what else? Nowadays, people don't want to make the notes out of the notes. एटा गोटे नोट भलिया ही ये आउ याठू नोट रु नोट बाहर करवा, इट्स नॉट इवन टाइम जतिक अच्छी, इट्स नॉट इवन वर्थ इट. एंड इजिली अवेलेबल समस्त पाखे आई थिंक इजिली ओनली आईएएस रो ए नोट अवेलेबल हो जिवो. Okay, let's see what they have mentioned in their syllabus. If we go to the syllabus breakdown, let's see what they have given. Okay. Okay, first topic as we saw, आमे पढ़िबा को हिसाब रे कि ecology and ecosystem will be our first part of discussion. Let's see what they have given in their first part. See, they also have given environment and ecosystem. तो आमे आपको breakdown कले basic definitions अच्छी, principles of ecology, निश्चय जेते सब terms, these terms are very important from prelims perspective. बारंबार एथरू क्वेश्चंस आसुची ही आसुची. एथरू जोटा आउ मोस्ट इंपोर्टेंट थिंग दैट इज फूड चेन, that is nutrient cycling. Nutrient cycling includes carbon cycling, nitrogen cycling, oxygen cycling, these things like sulfur cycle, phosphorus cycle. Out of this nitrogen cycle is also very important from prelims perspective. मो सांगरे ही नोट धरिकी आई होप समस्ते मार्क करी करी चलिबे जो गुडा को मु कहूची. ओके, देन व्हाट types of ecosystem, terrestrial ecosystem, aquatic. Okay, 2 types further divided, wetland ecosystem 3 types divided karaichi, also important from prelims perspective. Okay, these 2 cycles are also important, but somehow few questions in the recent past we witnessed that the questions are being asked, so ete be important nahi. Ramsar convention, lakes, estuary, lagoon, these are also some terms. And okay, biodiversity, second topic we saw that we will be discussing biodiversity, which is important from both pre and mains perspective. So what about, let's see types of biodiversity. Definitely good. Measures of biodiversity, alpha, beta, gamma diversity. Questions are being asked in UPSC examination, so important. But these are very static things. Once you read it, once you get to know the things, you don't need to worry about further. Speciation, species, okay, biodiversity, dynamics, patterns, India. Okay, then we will be discussing biodiversity of India. Then loss of biodiversity, conservation, in situ, ex situ, important. Okay, then India's initiatives and institutions to preserve biodiversity. Okay, then UN as an international body, biodiversity conservation measures. Then wildlife conservation. As we saw, wildlife is nothing but a part of biodiversity itself. So internationally कौन effort है जी, India रा कौन effort है जी. Then tiger conservation काहेंगे important. Then other important animals and their conservation measures. Then third part was climate change. So before we go into the part of climate change, we need to know what are the pollutions. So सेथरे कौन देला, air pollution, तार causes, effects and केमती prevent करिवा तार measures. Then देला water pollution, effects, then थिबो causes, then measures. Okay, this is one part. Then देला कौन other kind of pollution such as noise pollution, plastic pollution, solid waste and electronic waste like pollution, like heavy metal pollution is also there. Then asila land degradation. This is also important. Somehow एते क्वेश्चंस पचार जाउने, but still important from prelims perspective, basics जानिया को पड़िबो. Then after once we discuss about pollution, then we will go to the topic of climate change and related international environmental conventions. In this topic we will discuss about climate change, recent years रे कौन causes ହେଇची, important कौन greenhouse gases अच्छी, and then the efforts and कौन measures जा ହେଇची. Then नेशनल एनवायरमेंटल लेजिस्लेशन, नेशनल कौन कंजर्वेशन की एनवायरमेंट पाई रिलेटेड कौन लेजिस्लेशन लॉज ହେଇची पास ହେଇची, से गुडा सब कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल प्रोविजन. एंड देन देखिबा देन एनर्जी रो सोर्सेस, मेजर स्पेसीज थोड़ा थोड़ा इंपोर्टेंट. समहाउ ए थ्रू क्वेश्चंस बहुत डायनामिक क्वेश्चंस ट्राई करिया को चेष्टा करिया. मोस्टली जेति की माने इजीली अवेलेबल डेटाज अछि से गुडा सब पढिया को चेष्टा करिया. देन एट द एंड we will be discussing protected areas network of India such as कौन national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, tiger reserves. Although मैं टॉपिक्स गुडा को सब सेपरेटेड वीडियो करी अपलोड कर देछि, but still at the end we will be discussing it further and देखिबा extra कौन points हमको मिलुची which are important from what prelims point of view. So this is the first lecture from where we, you, I, we all will be prepare ourselves for the environment upcoming environment sessions and I mean निजको note सहित brief में further इटा discussion करिवा. So from the अच्छा ताले extra कौन आमे समस्त कहबे हम पारे note अच्छा हम पढ़ी देथनु but extra कौन see definitely I from my past experience हमु जणा अछि जे कोठु questions आसुची and आउ टिके fun केमिति factors आमे आनी परिवा पढ़ीवा टाइम रे. Okay, so there will be some images, although these images are not given by the note, I have added these images later and पढ़िला बेले जोटा कि हमको help करिवो. Okay, so from the next class onwards we will be discussing the basics of environment, environment ro basic कोन and environment ro basics कोन and ecosystem विषय कोन. As we discussed, this will be our first topic of first section of discussion, what is ecology and ecosystem. Okay, so I see you all in the next lecture. Thank you. Jai Jagannath.